Okay, today I'm making this video file to help a friend out that they mess up Windows and then they have to install it and everything, and they can't remember all the steps to go through and where to go through the Windows to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a video for him for they can download it and follow it and stuff. I'm going to put it on the internet in case share it with anybody else that might want to have to do it. Okay, and but it's called making a system image disk, and it's been in Windows 7, 8, 8.1. It might have even been in Vista. I can't remember. I didn't run Vista very long to know if it did or not. You know, a lot of people didn't like Vista. But I got my control panel, a shortcut to my control panel here. And you got to go to control panel to find this at. So I click on my control panel. And I look up here and I see this backup, restore. Now it says Windows 7. Even though I'm on Windows 10, you know, they've carried the program on and they didn't just change it to Windows 10. Backup recovery Windows 10. They just left that name in there. But I'm going to click that. And I'm going to tell it to create a system image file. And what that image file is doing, it's like it's taking a picture of your hard drive. It's making a copy of your C drive that boots Windows and all of your files. And when it makes it, and then you have to use it one day or to recover because your system got messed up, you got malware or something like that, you know, and you can't get it off your system, or either it's going to take too long. Because on this computer here, I can take that image file and restore my computer back to where it's, you know, like it is today, because I created one today, and it takes about 8 minutes. You know, and depending on your system, what kind of drives you're using, what kind of thing you got it stored on, and the transfer speed of those devices depends on how long it takes. You know, some people, if they're running an old system, you know, it could take them 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. Okay, so I'm going to create that. Click that Create System Image File. Now it's looking for a backup device, and you see here it's got it checked, hard drive. And what you can't store this on your C drive. It will not pick your C drive because it can't write an image file to your C drive and be imaging. I'm going to use this excuse because that's what they used to say when we do that. You can't, because if it's writing that to C drive and you're making an image of C drive's going to keep getting bigger, and you can't do it. It's got to be on a separate drive. And I don't think usually a USB external drive is what's going to work the best for you, and all that. Because you know, like I said, it can't do it. Now on this computer, I forget how many drives I got. I got 4 drives or so, 4 or 5 drives hooked inside this, and another external drive, this and that. But I got this stored on a 5 terabyte drive is what it's going to store to. You know, and now for some reason, if it don't come up with the drive you got hooked in, long as you see your drive in this PC or my computer, you know, they've changed the name over the years. So there's my T drive. And there's, I'll show you. I'm not going to go through creating one, but I'm going to show you how to go through all the steps except I won't hit create. See, there's where it made mine. And that's where it stored it. The folder will be called Windows Image Backup. And there's the one I made. There's the date and all that I made today. And, you know, the information's in there that's going to do that. But, you know, the way you recover it and reprime it, if you have to do it, or we call it repriming, rewriting it back to your system, will automatically look for that file. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Well, I'll give you another thing. It's going to look like if I'm back in there, I'll go back in there, because I could have pointed that out when I was there. I clicked on the wrong thing here, T drive. Windows image backup. It says Dell i7. I used a small I there. Well, if I look and go to my system, and I look there, see this device is called Dell iSystems. So that's what that file's going to go looking for. It's going to look at, you don't want to change that name. If you change that name, you can goof up Windows. It says like rename this PC or whatever. You don't want to change that thing, because it can mess you up. And so I've explained that, and I'm going back here. It says this is a drive, and like I said, if it's not the drive you want to put it on, it didn't see it, so I could choose that drive, or that drive. I could tell it to refresh. If I forgot to plug in an external drive, then it would pick that up and put it in the list. And all that. So I'm going to go next. Okay. So on this system here, there's three things that needs to be. It's automatically checked. It knows what it needs to be able to recover your system. These other things are just other drives. I don't want to have an image made in there with the E drive and all that, because that would, well, as you can see, it would eat up a lot of room. And them's data drives anyway. They're not hooked to Windows. They're drives where I've saved stuff. Then I would click Next. And if I click Next, there. So it's going to show me what part, that's the C drive. Then I would click Start Backup. And like I said, I'm not going to write one because I already did one today. When you start that backup, you're going to say getting ready to create backup image and stuff. Then you're going to see it say copying UEFI or your boot INI and stuff. You'll see it naming it. It'll just be one of them blue progress bars that goes along. And then when it's done, it's going to ask if you want to create one of these system image repair CDs disk. Answer no, because right now on Windows 1809 you do not need that. It wants to burn it to a CD, and we've tried that. For some reason we found out this weekend in this 1809, the version that they're on Windows 10 is they broke it, and it's not the thing that's burning it or whatever. It just it goes to start to act like it's going to work, and then it gives an error. So right now don't do it, but you can. There's a place in Windows if you can get into Windows to do it. And later on I'll do a video on how to make a USB recovery deal, because you got to do it a little bit different. So I'm going to cancel out because I'm not going to do that. Now, say your system, you're still able to get into Windows, and you need to recover that image file because you got your system messed up, but you can still get into Windows. And you can go here and go to All Settings, or you could even go here and click Add Gear. It'll bring you about the same thing, if I remember right. What's this? Just bring it up here. Yep. But you want to go to Update and Security. And see, it even says Recovery and Backup. So we're going to click there. And we're going to go here to where it says Recovery. And we're going to click that. And the choice you're going to take is Restart Now. Now, I'm not going to click it right now because what it's going to do is it's going to restart my computer. And right now I'm capturing the screen. Well, I can't capture the screen outside of Windows. I have not seen a program yet that will do that. So I want to go to restart now. And so what I got to do is I'm not going to click it because I got to come down here and I've got to stop my screen recording software. Because if I don't, it won't have a stop point and the video won't play. The video will be like that. Windows thinks it's corrupted. So we're going to stop this and this recording, and then I'm going to record the rest of it to where you can see it, hopefully, with my phone camera. So I'm going to stop this recording, and I'll get that ready, and I'll be recording that part. Okay, now I got this phone recording, and I'm going to do that restart now. And that advanced setting, recovery, advanced setting, restart now. Because see, it says Windows from a system image. So my computer's restarting. Okay. Now here, I'm going to have to move this a little bit because I want to try to get in what we need to see. But there's my three choices. Continue and exit the Windows. Troubleshoot. Turn off your PC. So I'm going to click Troubleshoot. Now I got two choices. The one I want to take now is Advanced. Because, we're going in and we're going to recover from the image. My computer's goofed up and we're going to recover from the image. And I think I covered it before that when you recover from the image, I'm going to go ahead and click it and still talk here while it's doing its thing. See, it's rebooting. But, you're only going to have on there what I did today and all that. It's not going to have, since, say I made that image file and tomorrow I saved some pictures to my computer, I load another piece of software, that won't be on there. Maybe you would need to recreate another image file if you want all your up-to-date stuff to be on there. And like pictures and music and all that, you should have backed up to another drive anyway. And pictures, I actually recommend people using an online service to be able to back their pictures up or upload to, even though they don't maybe share it with people. Because that way, you can say, well, I got it backed up on DDV. I got it backed up on a flash drive, my pictures. Well, if your house catches on fire, that's liable is going to destroy that USB flash drive or something. That this way, you got a place, use a service that you can download your high-res picture that you put up there and all that, and stuff that you can always get your pictures back. Now see there it says system image file, it says choose an account to continue. Well, my account's Michael Bishop. Whatever, it's my login name. So I'm going to hit enter. Now doing it this way, it's going to ask you for the password that you logged into Windows and when that file was created. Now if you don't use a password to log into Windows, you don't need to put anything. But if you, now the other way, if that repair disk and stuff worked, where you could boot up with it, say your computer won't even boot up, you sort of need one of them. You can use it and install and do what they call repair and come to these options. But, so, that's what you would have to do. Now I use a password on my account here, so and I'm going to hit enter or continue. Now see, now it's scanning for the image file. Okay, now it come up here. Now it found one on drive D. I don't know if that's what it's desktop i7. So I'm gonna do this. Select the image file. Because I don't know, because since I'm out of Windows that it's not seeing that. Or what? Drive D. Yeah, that's a 5 gigabyte. So that was the right one. Because even though it's called T in Windows, it's not called it in this. I'm going to turn this around. Looks like I bumped it. I'm going to try to straighten her out here. Where I slid it. Windows is in a different place. Okay. But, so I'm going to click next because that is the right one. Now, you know, I could say format my C drive and all that. And just to show you that it works, I'm going to tell it. I should be able to tell it. Well, no. If I go next, then it's going to come up. It's going to verify again. It's going to show the date, the thing. It's going to, because, you know, I remember I said that I had UEFI. Some of you might say legacy. You know, depending on what when your computer was made, how Windows was installed and all that. The newer ones use the UEFI, and they got UEFI in there. And even though it looks like OK finish, it's not finished. So what I'm going to do, you know, I hit finish. It's going to say all data on this drive to be restored will be replaced with data in its system image file. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm going to say yes. Okay, now say it's starting a restore. Now some of this time thing I will probably cut off. I'm going to look over there. It's almost 4:30 my time. Just a minute or two before 4:30. So, you know, when I edit the video, I'll probably take the time out because nobody wants to set for 8 hours. See, now it says that restoring from disk C, restoring disk C. Because like I said, you're just making a picture of your Windows, you know. But don't think that if you made one and then 3 months down the road you hadn't made, you know, you didn't make any more. And a lot of people don't. You know, if they haven't installed any software, they don't keep pictures and stuff on their C drive and all that. You know, they don't really need to. You know, you're going to get some updates along that time, but if you have installed software or updated software and you don't want to go back through that time deal, well then this would come in handy. And I'm hoping the audio comes out good on this because I got a headset plugged into this phone, capturing the audio, recording my audio, and I can hear through it. So, see, it's recovering mine pretty fast. Because, like I said, I'm recovering from a hard drive that's sitting in a, you know, mounted in the computer that's hooked to a SATA port, and plus it's right into an SSD drive. It's getting it off of a spinner drive and writing it to an SSD drive. So this lets me cover my system pretty fast. Because sometimes, you know, if I was to get a virus or malware, and by running the scans, if you've ever done that, you know, sometimes those scans can take a few hours. As long as I know I got everything that I need on that image file and be back up, this is a heck of a lot faster, and I know that virus is gone. You know, I don't have to wonder, well, did it really remove it? And plus, if they get the thing working, like I said, I'm going to try to sit down and show how to make one and make sure it works off of where you can take a small USB flash drive and be able to boot from it in case your system won't boot. You know, one day I'm going to sit down and show how to do it, because it's different. You just can't click that Windows system. There for a while, like in Windows 8, you could click it and it'd make you one to USB. You know, because then you could, you know, even if your hard drive failed and you had to put a new hard drive in, you wouldn't have to reload all your software in Windows again. You could just, if you had a file that made with everything you had on it, you know, you could recover it back just like this thing's going and be done. I'm going to stop recording. It must have a time thing on this recording thing. I restarted it. It must have a file limit too or something on it. I don't know. It looks like it maybe has a 10-minute file limit. Like I said, I'm going to put the screen capture and a video from the phone together into a deal, into an editor, and edit some stuff out. Now I'm looking at the clock. The clock says it was about 4:28 when I started it. Now it's at about 4:33 or 34. So not bad at all to get a system recovered. Or be about done. And like I say, it depends on the speed of the interfaces of what you're using. I find out USB 3 external drive hooked up to a USB 3 port, that's pretty fast. You know, USB 2 is going to be a little slower and stuff, but it's better. I mean, you can walk away. If I wasn't sitting here talking to you and I knew it was going to take a half an hour or so, I'm going to walk away. It's you know, it's going, when it's done, it's going to be done. See, this is getting ready to finish up. Finish and restore. We're finalizing restore. Okay, it's done. You know, it's going through. Your computer has been restored and automatically will reboot in 30 seconds. So I'm going to say reboot now, and we'll watch it reboot. Now this computer, it boots pretty fast, but the motherboard and stuff I built this computer with, how you say, it's got a digital display in it. It goes through and checks all the hardware out and makes sure the hardware is working right. See, now it brings up that screen. And I haven't found a way to turn that off, but it could come in handy if I had a piece of hardware failing. See, it's starting Windows. Okay, now I'm back up to my screen. Log it in. And there's everything back. And I know it done it because like this CyberLink recorder, this CyberLink software and stuff, I just put that in today. Got a newer version of it. That's a server that I use to serve stuff up to the TV, movies and stuff. But okay, I'm going to stop the video and going to see if I can put it together.